What's up? I'm Daniel, the drummer for Let's Go Be Hang. We kind of, in the honor of trying to create some content for social media, and all being gear fans, decided that we would do a series that kind of explains our rigs and kind of what we're playing. And so this is going to be the first installment of a series of 4 or 5 videos that kind of chronicle what we are using live and in the studio and in rehearsals and kind of everything in between. So I'll introduce you to our new guitar player, Cody, who is going to talk about kind of what we're doing with his rig over here, and you know, what's your head you're using to start with? I guess that's a good place to start.
Boogie Mark V. I've had this for 3 or 4 years probably. This is the sound for me, I guess.
What inspired you to buy that out of the gate?
Lamb of God. Massive Lamb of God fan. Yeah, all things Boogie. I'll probably own this until Mark 6 comes out, and I'll probably own Mark 6.
Is that what does that amp do for you that like is important to your sound, or?
Tons of mid presence, which is the Mark series. That's their thing, is the high mid gain. But I mean, this does everything. I get complimented on the clean tone. The crunch is great for classic rock, and you can go balls out if it needs to. So
Obviously, Boogie oversized 4 with 12, right?
yes, this is actually, these are rectifier cabs. The other guitar player runs one too. It's just got more bottom end on it. I think it's an extra 6 inches deep, maybe. I'm pretty sure that's the difference in this and the traditional. Oh, it's loaded with vintage 30s too. That's worth noting.
Yeah.
And you know, pretty much all your American cabs are going to be vintage 30s.
I think out of the gate, people are going to want to know what these giant black boxes are sitting in front of your.
Yeah. So this is a new thing that our Dan, the drummer, and our singer have created, and it's basically just create isolation. So when we go to record, we're doing a live stream show. Hopefully, get some good recordings for like a live single or something. And this is just to get more clarity in our audio department.
And to basically kind of dig a little deeper dive on what happened there. We basically took an idea from the Byzantine camp and just kind of modified on that and built. Those are just basically 1x and with air lax inside of it, and they just sit straight up on the microphone. And we're using Sennheiser mics on the guitars, and they're great for intermixes, and they isolate pretty well.
Much more direct sound. It's basically like a miniature ISO box.
The other component of the isolation is that we have also started using fractals.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that for a second.
This is a totally new monster to us. I've created a patch for myself and the other guitar player. Basically, this unit is going to catch the preamp of our actual amplifiers and send it through a cab sim and go to the front of the house or mixing console or whatever. And we're blending this sound with the isolated microphone. And it has increased our tone in our ears and the front of house by miles.
And I do a lot of the mixing from the drum position for our ears to kind of get things dialed in, and they take over and do the kind of micro adjustments.
Right.
But we initially took the blend of the fractal and the blend of the microphone, and it's they're 2 totally different monsters.
Definitely.
And you can kind of get what you want. The goal being that not only we have opportunity to and options, but in the process of planning for our live stream, we decided that having more options,
Right.
one for in case something.
It's a fail-safe. It's a safety net.
Right.
This guy.
And also to give our front of house guy who's mixing for the stream, to give him a couple of different options and to just have some choices.
Right.
So we'll take a second to talk about your pedal board. And
Sure. I'll just basically send my signal chain here. I start out with the Polytune. I use a mini. I just see no sense in having a full-size tuner. It works great. A massive LED display so you can see it on stage. Then the classic Crybaby wah. That's the original Crybaby. Those run you $100 all day and they sound great. I've had that for I think it's the oldest pedal I own, actually, by a long shot. Next is the KHDK Gold Screamer. It's Kirk Hammett overdrive. It's, I hate to say a tube screamer circuit, but that's what it is. But it has a bunch of compression switches on it, and you can really get more out of it than like your standard tube screamer from Ibanez or whatever. Then the Zool, that's a Fortin noise gate. That's, I mean, it's top of the mountain for noise gates. I run mine in the loop. Our other guitar player has one too. He can talk about his. But the interesting thing about the Zool is that it has a key input, so you can feed your draw signal into it to tell it when to open and close. So it is the absolute cleanest noise gate that money can buy. And I'm actually using an MXR Bass Chorus Deluxe for my chorus pedal. It has a feature on it where you can send the clean signal through along with the wet signal, so you can still maintain like your volume and clarity while you're playing on a chorus setting. And then I have the MXR Carbon Copy. It's classic. Name a guitar player, they use one. That's why I picked it up. I might eventually switch to a Strymon pedal or something, but that thing, it gets the job done.
What does that do, the Carbon Copy?
It's just a standard delay. It's got your, I mean, it's just got the mix, decay, and level on it, and it's, I mean, it's all you need for a mini pedal, especially. Kirk Hammett uses one. It's good enough reason for me.
That's fair enough. And so you're in your Mark V pedal, or just the channel changer. Do you do a lot of dancing on that, or do you?
Yes, especially with the new material right now. We're moving more into clean and ambient stuff. I stay on channel 3 for most of our shows. I'll occasionally tap dance on my overdrive and my gate, you know, get some feedback or whatever. I use the built-in reverb on the amp. It sounds spectacular. I'll never need to buy a reverb pedal. And then it's got a clean solo boost. That's all for that.
So that pretty much handles your signal chain from the guitar back. Let's take a second and talk about some guitars. What do you say?
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool. So moved over here to the guitar boat. We're going to look at a few things. How many guitars do you normally travel on through the show? What do you and why?
I'm usually carrying 2 to 3, usually 3. Band plays in 2 different tunings, so I have a trim guitar for both, and then I have a hardtail in case a string breaks or I need a quick swap, pickup goes out, you know, whatever. It's always good to have a backup.
So kind of go backwards. What's your number 4?
Probably this guy right now. This is on the cheaper end of the guitars I own. Not that I hate this by any stretch of the imagination. This is a 521. It's got an exotic wood on the front. I think it's called Zeracoat, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And they've mirrored it, and you can see where it's split down the middle there. And then it's mahogany roasted maple neck. It's the beefiest guitar that I own. It sounds hardy. I think it's that big, thick.
What pickups are in that guitar?
It's a Tone Zoner Norton by DiMarzio. This standard for this is what comes with stock.
Cool.
Yeah, I love this guitar. So picked this one up in trade actually. And then I would say next is my RGA 321. This is the oldest one that I own. I think it's like a 2003. Our other guitar player is actually using this right now. This is the arch top RGs basically, and this has DiMarzio Titans in it, which are the periphery pickups. Jake Bowen is his name. Mm-hmm. And this is also a mahogany guitar, and you can hardly see it, but it's got a quilted top on it. I think they call this quilted onyx black or something. And then it's got the natural headstock. It's got the brown headstock, which I love too. But you can see how thick that slab of maple is on the top of it. This guitar is hardy too. I think that's why Beavar gravitates to it.
Yeah. Neil, number 2.
Let's see.
And these are all Ibanez guitars, right?
All Ibanez guitars. It's all I will play probably from here until the day I die. This is a 5120. This is the newest guitar that I own. I just bought this about a year ago. This is I think these came out 2019. And this is mahogany as well. It's big, and I love this killer finish. This is actually one of the first guitars I put Fishmans in too. I think this is the first Ibanez, the first year they started putting Fishman fluences in their pickups. And
shout out to Ken Susi. Right?
Yeah, these are the moderns. This is what you'll see in most everything. It's not a signature guitar, but it's got the edge trim, which I love more than a Floyd Rose. Some people hate to hear that, but I mean, yeah, this is This is probably my workhorse. This is the one I play all our new record stuff in.
Super cool.
Yep. And we'll go to my baby that doesn't get as much stage time as it should, because my drummer doesn't like it.
This is the number one.
This is my number one guitar.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah. This is a 5570 S series. I picked this up in trade as well. And I purchased this. Me and Derek drove to Tennessee to get this one, yeah. This also has the Marzio Titans in it. Don't know how I managed to do this, but this and the RGA, they're both aftermarket. People have put Titans in all kinds of Ibanez guitars, I guess. This has a low pro edge. It's slightly different than the blue guitar, but this thing just plays great. I would own 10 of these. I would probably sell all those and buy nothing but this exact model.
Because why?
It's just fast. It's just really sleek. It's thin. I mean, everybody knows what an S series looks like. They call them the potato chips. But it's just super thin and just feels great. I haven't managed to get a guitar to play like this one. And it's purple, which is rare.
It is purple.
Yeah.
It is purple.
Also worth noting, all these guitars have Diodario NYXLs on them. This is a set of 9s, and then all the other ones are 1052s.
Is there a reason that one has 9s? And...
Yeah, I keep this in half step down, standard, so I chose to go with 9s. It's just more playability, I guess. And the others are going to go to drop C or drop C sharp, so I put 10-52s on those to keep them in tune. Your intonation will be better whenever you start really digging in.
Cool, man.
Yeah, I mean this
Anything
is
else in your rig worth noting? Like, I mean...
I use nothing but DiMarzio strap locks.
Clip straps?
Yep, just clip straps. They're great. I use the John Petrucci ones usually, but this is it.
And that'll be the first one in this series, and like I said, stay tuned for a few more. We're going to cover a couple other things. We're going to cover, for sure, we're going to cover the other guitar rig. We'll do a bass rig rundown too, with Adam, our bass player, who lives in a different city than we do. And then we're going to do, I'll do a drum rig thing. Yeah. And then we're going to definitely put together a very detailed walkthrough of our in-ears. So keep an eye out on these videos to come, and we really look forward, I think we all look forward to doing the in-ear one, because we have had such an interesting journey trying to figure it out, and there's just not a lot of resources out there. And that may be the thing that spawned this the most, is that in looking for content, there's tons of guitar rig rundowns, there's not a ton of drum rig rundowns, and there's almost zero rig rundowns for in-ears and that setup, unless it's in a situation where it's like a church, where it's like an inbuilt system that doesn't travel. And so our goal is we're building a in-ear system that moves with us. So we're going to talk about that in one of the videos on down the line. So thanks for sticking out this one with us, and see you soon.